Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bowtie Security Guy After Dark. This is episode 37. My guest today is Jayson E. Street. A lot of people know who Jayson is because he's been around in the community for a long time. He gives back a ton. I wanted to have you kind of come hang out for a while. But let's kind of take it back to the beginning of like what got you even interested in technology, or kind of how did you even kind of come into this, even way back when you were younger? Like, were you always a tinkerer?
Yes, it's like, well, like I said, I've said before many times, and I will always say, we were all born hackers. It's like the tech thing just resonated with me. I remember in the fourth grade, and which is saying something because I don't usually have memory. I've blocked out a lot of my childhood, so it's like, but I still remember my fourth grade. I created using a shoebox and a battery and some lights. I created a robot kind of thing. It's like,
Nice.
just because of the fact it's like, Star Wars back then, because I am old, and it's like, because that's when Star
Seasoned.
Wars just came out.
We
It's
are
like,
seasoned, Jayson.
yeah, I could have retired already if I would have gotten to keep, and if all the trading cards and the action figures that I had from back then
Right?
of
Yeah.
Star
Who
Wars.
knew that like all of a sudden like Star Wars and Pokemon cards and stuff would be sold for
I
millions of
did.
dollars?
I knew it was going to work. I just didn't have a say in it. But so I got, but yeah, so I always had that imagination, that inspiration. I literally created, for a science fair project, I created the concept of a solar powered laser using the magnification forces and like just creating a super hyper magnifying glass in a tube,
Yeah, yeah.
and turning it into like a laser beam. It's like just really weird things. It's like I always tried, and it's like, and it just always had that imagination. There's always liked tech. I always liked looking at the future kind of thing. And so that's what got me into tech. Security is quite different because it's like, I was not I was a horrible person. And I'm not saying that self-deprecating. I was not a good person. I was raised against the Geneva Conventions, suffered all the abuses. It's like I got the whole bingo card. And one of the things that got me the most was around 17 or 18, after surviving my uh, second a murder attempt of someone trying to kill me, a different person though, so that was good. It's like, I guess, but
At least you're
it's
an
like,
equal opportunity offender.
yeah, it's like, so 17, it's like, or 18, it's like when I got out of that environment, it's like I was just so full of rage and anger. It's like, and I was just like, I really finally became the monster I was raised and programmed to be. It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't take attack. Well, I mean, I did hurt people. I got into, I would go to clubs, and I went clubbing a lot. And it's like when I saw a bully, or I saw someone talking, or like some guy trying to be an alpha male, I guess we call him now.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like I would say things to him, and I am like, people think I'm quick-witted and think I'm like very funny. It's like, oh, but man, when I turn that into like a verbal attack,
Weaponized. Yep.
you feel it. And so I
Yeah.
would talk to this person and just cut them down, and just constantly and just say these snide comments and stuff, to the point where they eventually, it's like, I think there was only 3 or 4 times where they didn't fall for it, but they would eventually, because they're slower and they're stupid, because we've established they're bullies. It's like they would take a swing at me,
Yep.
and as soon as they punched me, it was like I'm like Donkey Kong, because I was just like, I have very bad pain receptors. It's like, because it's like, I mean, also it helped with I got toughened up, I guess, too, but also it's just I don't register pain the same way. So I literally just took the hit, like, okay, let's go, and then just proceeded to destroy most people. It's like, and then in my 20s, I realized that I had a choice. It's
Yeah.
like, and it was really, I had this epiphany where it's like, I could be the monster that I was raised and trained to be, or I could be the one to stop the monsters and make them pay for what they do to others and protect people before the monsters get them. And so I got into physical security. It's like, because I like the idea of protecting people and like protecting
Yeah.
places and just keeping order and stuff. And so I did physical security. And then I did a stint with the I was a dispatcher and then a supplemental officer for a gang task force in Houston. From the
How
it was
did you
Montgomery County
how did
Marshals.
you fall into that job? Like, what what led you to even getting an opportunity to join a gang task force? And I love that you, because I think I went through the same transition around 18 or 19. I realized being a guy who manipulates, cons people, and was just an all-around dick was not going to be the life that I wanted. And I wanted to
Mm,
really make changes. Like you, I have a I have a really high justice sensor. I think a lot of us who are on the
yes.
spectrum, our justice sensor is like through the roof. So if we see somebody being treated poorly or injustice, there is nothing we can do but get involved.
Oh yes.
It's not even a choice that we have. It's that it's a compulsion to really just push ourselves into that situation and basically stand up for the defenseless. So you and I both realized pretty quickly that, like, hey, maybe we can turn this into something positive. So you get an opportunity to join this gang task force, and where did that, like, how did that opportunity even come about?
I that was like 30 years ago, which makes me really old. It's like,
Right,
uh,
right. Well,
it
how
was,
long did you do it for? How long were you in the
uh,
gang task force?
oh, after the bullet went 2 inches from my right ear, I gave 2 weeks notice because I'd already gotten in some other scrapes there. It's like, but that was like the last straw. So I was about 3 years. It was my old, I remember that. So I worked with this police captain of the Montgomery County Marshals, and he ran a task force throughout these subdivisions and these apartment complexes where they banded together to try to, like, there was having so much gang problems.
Mhm.
So it was uh, a lot of Montgomery County Mar Montgomery County Marshals and some other PD people. And I was first off the dispatcher, but then since I was TCLO certified and stuff, I didn't like guns, but I was certified to run. And I'm an expert marksman, but it's like I just don't like guns. And it's like, and my captain let me his 357 and an automatic shotgun. And so then I became a supplemental officer, which gave me, it was this really gray area, but this is in the 90s. It's like it was a really gray area where it's
The
like,
gray area is all we lived in the 90s.
so I could be like an agent of the owner and invite people in and then be deputized kind of thing. Like, hey, we need you to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
help us with this assistant kind of thing. So it was like very shady, but I helped a lot of people, and that's what counts. Is like because I did actually help people. There was one guy who was like, he took two to the chest, and it's like, and I gave him CPR and first aid, and he survived. And it's like, and I've arrested a murder suspect with the body there, and it's like, and I've arrested one on a warrant. So it's like I help get bad people, and so chased one guy down. I have a lot of
Let me
I have a
ask
lot of good
you.
stories, but no good
Yeah,
memories. But it's like, so I don't want to digress into that.
yeah, I
Sorry.
know, but let me ask you a question on that. So for me, I felt like I now had to kind of right all the wrongs that I had done. Like, I look back at my life as a balancing scale where I was like, hey, for a good 18 years, I was not a great person. And I've then kind of rebalanced that scale. Did you feel that too, where you were like, I've got to kind of keep doing good shit because I need to make right with all I've done? Or was it just what you did?
I think from I think till I was 16, 17, it was not me being a bad person. It was me being told that I was stupid, I was dumb, I was
Yeah.
ugly, I was horrible. my at 5 years old, my mother told me that she didn't make boys and she should have taken the Mexican girl home from the hospital, which was saying something since she was racist. And it's like, um, and so the relationship went downhill from there.
Yeah.
It's like so, and it was just, and it was very abusive with her. It's like, and it's like, and other siblings, and it was just a really not a good situation. I think it was like my main redemption part was like um in my like 17 or 18 was like I might have to like in my 20s I realized it's like I can't just be just angry at what happened to me
Gotta
and
get past
just
it.
and just go after the bad guys that I think are bad guys. I should actually go after bad guys. And
Yeah.
so that's why I just diverted my attention to like trying to do security, trying to help out. And so yeah, so I think that is one of the key differences. And it's like, and also it's like I don't think I honestly to this day I don't feel like I'm a good person. I'm a person who is bad, who's trying to do the best that they can. And I also don't think I deserve any kind of accolades. I don't deserve saving. I don't deserve anything. I'm the guy who gets people off the Titanic. It's
Yeah.
like I'm never getting in the lifeboats. I know I'm not going to get in the lifeboat. I'm going down with the ship, and that's fine because there's more important people that need to get onto the lifeboats. So my job is to get people onto the lifeboats, and
Well,
then I
and
die, and
I've
I'm
seen
done.
so much of your stuff that's that way too. I mean, just the fact that you're sharing people's profiles, getting people the visibility, like this field in general is heartless in a lot of cases. And for people like us who are not neurotypical, it's incredibly difficult, to find our niche and to find those kind of opportunities. But that's something that I love that you do. Like you've gained this momentum and this kind of credibility, and you haven't let it go to your head. You're still the same person. You're still trying to kind of do what's right because it's what's right, not because you're worried about being anything. You're just doing it because it's the right thing to do. And I feel like there's so many people within our field who've lost sight of that. Just
Yeah.
doing the right stuff for the right reasons without any gain.
I was really disappointed last year, to be honest with you. It's like I had a breakdown in 2024 November at B-Sides Jacksonville, and if anybody organizers from B-Side Jacksonville, I still apologize and I'm still sorry about that. It's like because I got a call the night before from someone who had just gotten an attack because some rednecks were very empowered by the current landscape, and they called me in tears, and I was supposed to do a talk on AI, and I did a really poor, to my being perfectly honest, a very poor 30-minute rant on the problems in our society currently. And it's
Yeah.
like, and it was basically talking about like how I'm going to be okay because I'm a white Christian man in America. And then I broke down all three reasons why that's a bad thing,
Okay, so these
point
people
by
walked
point.
into an AI talk and then they got like a whole like just spiel
In
on the.
Florida. Yeah.
Oh my god, man.
So many
That's
people walked out, and I don't blame them. I did not do it great, and then I realized for 2025, my biggest problem was I didn't have slides. So I literally created my talk last year. Was called "The Imposter's Guide to Hacking," and I had with demos
yeah,
because I
yeah.
did several demos. I showed three at the very beginning of actual like me compromising places with different kinds of hacks, and then I showed a picture of Mr. Rogers and I said, now for the social engineering live demo of a Trojan horse. Because this talk has nothing to do about hacking, I'm now going to rant to you. And the three things that you're not supposed to talk about in a talk is politics, race, and religion. So
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
do
to
all of
cover all three. I'm going to cover all three, and then I'm going to throw in misogyny for a bonus. And I volunteered 10 minutes of my time to when I talked about allies and what allies really mean. I literally donated 10 minutes of my time to all these people, the women and people that are marginalized, and said, hey, here's a Right, do a video, 10 minutes. I'm not going to approve it. I'm not going to review it. You got 10 minutes. I'm going to put you up on screen, and then it's going to be your time to give a talk. And it's like, if you had something to say to people that you don't usually get an audience, what would you say to them? And I give them 10 unfiltered minutes
Yeah.
to talk. And then I get off the stage and I just sit in the audience and we listen to this person. It's like you amplify people's voices. The only reason why I am blessed, and I do believe that I am blessed, is to give blessings to others, to share those blessings. The only
I'm here.
reason why I
Yeah.
have a voice is to
Mhm.
give voices to others who don't have it, because I am not an expert in anything. I am not someone you should just be listening to and thinking that this is just because I say it, it's right, or I say it, this is the direction to go.
Yeah.
We need more diversity. We need more different voices. We need different outlooks. And so it's that is what I was trying to do. I literally told people, I had friends, I had employers telling me, it's like, this is going to impact you badly if you keep doing this talk in 2025. It's like I literally had to take all branding off of it. It's like didn't represent anybody. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, because I told my boss at the time, I was like, dude, I want you to understand something. You're my friend. He's still my friend. It's like, if you need to fire me, fire me. I don't want to jeopardize anybody else's job, but I'm not going to not give this talk. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to not give it. It is too important. I was so upset with so many people last year who are very popular, who have a big voice, who are very, very, very quiet.
And I think there's a lot of that within our field in general. Like very few people at our level, and I'm not putting myself in the same category, but like it we have the ability to speak up for people, and most people just stay silent. Like they won't invite somebody on their podcast unless they have a huge this or huge that, or they won't have a conversation with somebody unless they have value. And I'm like, everyone has value. Your job is to kind of figure out what that is to you. Like I think that's such a narrow-minded way of thinking. But the weird thing too is that our career has pivoted into this more of a popularity contest than a skill contest. It's like, well, does this person have a social presence? Does this person have social skills on top of being able to be a good hacker, on top of doing all this? It's like, dude, you can't have everything. I wonder if it's people like us who are on the spectrum are creating some of this false representation of like any Jason and Rob can do it. Like, what? Why can't you? Like,
No,
I
it is a lot of people on the spectrum who are people pleasers, who are trying to go and they see what current society is doing, and so they're trying to please and trying to get that adoration and
yeah,
stuff. Me, I am liberated with the fact that it's like, I know I'm ugly. I know I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. It's like, so I don't give a what happens. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
I am not trying to win anything, except I am literally, one of the things that always gets me is that all these people that come up to me, it's like, I was in Pune, India, and I did a 30-minute talk, and then I had a Q&A session for 4.5 hours, because I told everybody that I would not stop answering questions, because that's what I was there for, the networking and talking to people. And
yeah,
there
yeah,
was so many university students. I mean, like within the second hour, they're giving me water. We were outside in the heat, and it's like, and I'm like, but I was not going to stop.
yeah,
And I was actually dragged off at 4.5 hour mark. It's like, because I had to be on in another event and stuff. And so, but I literally, they always said, like, how do I be? And I said, like, God, you are not competing with anybody
nope,
in this industry. You're not. I am competing against Jason from yesterday.
yep,
I am competing from how good I was yesterday. And it's like, and can I be, and I need to be better, because I definitely always usually need to be better than I was the day before. And it's like, so I don't care. There are so many of my friends that are super successful. They're on TV. They're on like own $1 million companies and stuff. Who cares? I'm happy for them.
yep,
That's not my
yeah.
race.
No, that's one of my favorite quotes is by Theodore Roosevelt. Comparison is the theft of accomplishment, right? Like if you
Yes.
keep looking towards others and saying, "Oh, well, they're doing it, so I'm a failure." No, dude, like that's not how this works. Like this whole field is predicated on if you don't have knowledge, you can't get in, and we put the gates so high that basically make it so like, oh, well, you don't have experience, well, you can't get into a junior level role. It's like, what
F
the
the
hell?
gates. We're hackers.
Right.
Bypass the gate. Go over under. It's like Neo. There's no spoon. There's no gate. It's like that's just
Exactly. The more you
sheesh.
can kind of pretend like there isn't a problem and really just be your own unique self, changing the game, building those relationships, I think is so critical. When I got laid off, um, I was kind of taken aback at how the market had changed. You and I have been doing this for a very long time, where if we got laid off, we would literally have a job offer by the time we got to our car. Like there was a time where you're like, yeah, I'm looking for a job, and you'd have six offers, and you'd be kind of fielding calls as you go. Now it's like, hey, you've been laid off, you've got 20, 30 years of experience. Well, that's cool, but what's your brand look like? What's your, how can you represent my company? And it's like, we're thinking about this all wrong. We're not investing in talent anymore. So, like, when you first got into technology, let's kind of roll it back a little. Like, when you first got into your first cyber gig, what was that job, and kind of how did you end up doing it? Was it the same way all of us did, where like you knew somebody who knew somebody who was like, "Hey, come hang out"?
My life, like my whole entire life, is weird. There is no recreating any of the instances that have happened. I mean, I'm a high school dropout who used to live behind a dumpster, who's like
Yep.
had dinner with Goodwell, the founder of the Chinese hacking army, the godfather of Chinese hacking, to Wang Tao, to speaking inside the Pentagon after flying from a Russian hacking conference in Vietnam straight to DC to the Pentagon. I've literally, my life does not. It is weird, and it's
I,
like so.
I remember like two poor homeless kids who lived on the streets in our early like 18 like late teenage years.
Oh yeah,
Um, and I'm the same way. I have no I have a high school education, and that's it. Like I stopped from there, and we've both been able to make our niche. And I think the reason for that is we've just done it our way, unapologetically.
we're hackers. We were born hackers, and we had to adapt to situations. It's like I
100%.
went into the thing for the GED. I went in one day, no prep, took all six tests, passed them. So I
Yep.
got the piece of paper. That was it. And
That's
it's
all.
like, but I was doing help desk at a internet only bank, CompuBank in 2000, and and I will always give him props when everybody asks this origin story. It's like it's no good. I'm not here because of me. I'm here because of all the other people who have helped me, who've given me opportunities, who've like
Uh,
blessed me and stuff like with this.
yeah.
And it's like, so it's like I always make sure I give credit. So Tim Smith was the VP of technical security. I still remember his title. And he did not have his office ready. And this is where it's like divine intervention to me. It's like he didn't have his office ready at the time because it was on the second floor. It was on the third floor, and everybody was on the second floor. It's like in the main computer, well, the call center and the IT help desk where I was working. And while he was working at his desk, he knew eventually he was going to need to get an assistant, networking security person. And so he was like, he was listening to the help desk because it was like we were allowed anyway. And he heard a lot of the people always coming to me to ask for a question and like asking for how to do something and me giving solutions and problem solving and walking through the solutions. And then I've been sword fighting since I was 7. So he heard me quoting Sun Tzu or talking about Bushido and stuff. And it's like, and so he offered me a job. He said, you want to do computer security? And then that was like a revelation. It's like,
Oh,
wait, hold on. I can do computers and security and no one
yeah.
shoots at me anymore.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I literally started computer security. I mean, it's a vicious cycle because my life's weird because now 10 years after doing blue team, I got back into red team. So I got started doing red team and doing these other engaged security awareness engagements. So now there's a possibility of me getting shot It's like, but it is what it is. So
Yeah.
it has been a really, but that's what started it was Tim Smith just believing in me and giving me
Yeah.
the chance.
That same thing for me, like, and I won't say her name because she's asked me not to, because a lot of people reached out last time I mentioned it. Allison was amazing to me, and she just said, "Hey, look, I know that you're kind of doing, like, I know you can do this job, and I believe in you." Like, and that was kind of it. And I told her, like, "Hey, you took a chance on me. I'm going to keep giving back the rest of my career to give other people that opportunity." um and I think that's so critical and so key. uh, but yeah, like, it's one of those things where, as you grow in this field and as you learn more, you realize that it's all about preparedness and being ready when opportunity comes.
Yeah.
It doesn't, there's no such thing as luck. It's just, you've got to be prepared and ready when that opportunity hits. And I think that's where you and we've spent our lives adapting and kind of quickly pivoting what we needed to do to survive, that we were kind of born for this kind of environment of chaos and kind of chaos theory.
One of the things that people don't realize is that I'm never out of fight or flight mode. It's like I am always willing to, as soon as something happens, I can pivot. I know and assess the situation. I've got multiple tracks. And whenever I go into a building, I know exactly looking where the exits are. I'm looking for the people. It's a nightmare scenario. I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It's like, but it's effective. And like I said, it's good for the job.
Yeah, well, right. Well, I joke with people. I say, when you hire someone like me, and this is where I think a lot of autistic people and a lot of ADHD people could be amazing. Um, you get somebody who's basically working 24/7 no matter what. Like,
Yeah.
my mind is cycling on problems while I'm doing the dishes, while I'm doing other stuff. I'm trying to solve those issues you brought up to me a week ago, and I'm going through the incident 1,000 times over and kind of relaying all of the results and looking at all the data, and then replaying it again and going, that doesn't make sense, scratch that. Right.
Mm.
And we're working constantly and all the time. It's not something you can easily teach. But the problem is, a lot of people with our gift and curse is doesn't have the social skills. So for the traditional interviews that a lot of these people are going through, they just get decimated. They just
Oh yeah.
pepper them with questions, or they just hammer them with questions. So what advice do you have for people who are like, maybe they're on the spectrum, maybe they're pretty sure they are, but they haven't been diagnosed? Like, what do you recommend they work on, from a non-technical perspective? What are some of those core skills that you think have been very beneficial to you in your life?
I think one of the things that gets things like people need to understand. I don't care how good you are at breaking things or doing vulnerability assessments or like whatever you want to call it, red team, whatever. It's like if you're in college right now, along with your computer science and all your other attacks and your CTFs that you're doing in college to be a great pen tester, it's like what you need to do is also be taking a human interaction course, some kind of like improv. You need to take drama. You need to take report writing. It's like you need to learn
Play some D&D with some
writing
people.
course. You need to learn those skills.
Yeah.
Those other skills that you're doing, that you're going to college, let's face it, you don't need. You're going for the paper. You already have the skill. You already have the passion to do that. You need to do how to do the interactions. It's like I was lucky because I had to learn how to be funny. I had to be funny as a survival skill. It's like maybe it's like if I can change some of my, I like, because it's like in high school, I was very nonverbal. I was very, people just assumed that I was like, because I was a goth before goth was cool. I was like in my black trench coat, black clothes, looking all gloomy and stuff. And it was like I was just not very communicative. And I liked that because I didn't have to interact with too many humans. It's like, but then I realized it's like, but I got in a lot of physical altercations and I don't like fighting. It's like at the core, I know it sounds funny because I say about the club, but that was just me being angry. But it's like when it comes down to it, abhor violence, and it's like, and to make someone like now, to make someone me have to physically hurt them, I hate that. It's like,
Yep.
and so it's like I will literally after like in 25, 26, it's like I was like I would literally take a punch from someone just so I wouldn't have to hurt them, because I knew from their physical makeup and stuff and their stance that they would end up bleeding on the floor if I would have continued. So I just let them have the win. I just let them punch me and like, okay, are you happy now? And when they realize it didn't affect me, they'll usually back down. And so, but it's because I did not want to do it. So I realized being in high school was like that. It was so confrontational because these kids were always trying to prove something because I was the odd one out.
Weird
So,
kid. Yep. Yeah, same.
so in the when I was by like I said, it's like in my early 20s, I was wearing pastel, turquoise, pink, salmon, blue. I was into new wave and punk rock, so it's like
I was rocking plaid suits and stuff, wandering around, like this. And I'm 6'7", so I'm wearing plaid suits and multicolored shoes. Like we were bully targets all day, and I got in so many fights because I didn't back down. And I would just be like, no. Like, I'd be getting beat up by 3 or 4 guys and I'd still be wisecracking about them and insulting them. And it's not like it was a badge of honor or anything. It was just I refused to break.
Yeah, and bullies are cowards.
100%. Majority of them.
Situation. It's like the bullies are cowards. It's like they'll talk, but yeah.
So, I mean, and I think that's a key thing to really harp on is that if you're not working on soft skills in being able to articulate kind of what you can do without sounding like an arrogant ass, I feel like that's a really hard skill. And it's a really important skill for us as technical people to learn. It's one of the most important skills I think that you can put time into. And like you said, improv is a perfect example. If you can act like a fool in front of a crowd of people, there's nothing you can't do. Like at all. Like you become unstoppable. And
also you got to learn how to when I go to every morning before I go down to a conference where I've got to be Jayson E Street, it's like I literally practiced moving my mouth, like because I've got to start I have to start doing the facial expressions and like because when I'm not at the conference, I got resting tism face, which means it looks like I'm mad at you and you owe me money. And it's just me in my neutral face is just very stern. And it's like, and people are like, but I will convey the information. And also I am still trying to be funny, even without any tone. That's hilarious in a totally unrelated reason, because I didn't have to like finish the joke and then say that was humor. I was being funny. Because I'm just trying to I'm conveying information, but humans need the facial, they need the body language, even in this conversation, even where I don't have to like emote as much as I usually do, it gets exhausting. It's like I'm literally sometimes I get out of breath, and like right now because like I'm trying to be more forceful and trying to convey what I'm trying to say more, and then I just
that's the thing, right? So for people like us, inflection is a weapon, and we can utilize it as a weapon, and learning to use inflection as a tool that you can use to tell a story is an invaluable skill. Because even that tone I just added to invaluable, that was a conditioned, planned wording to give it emphasis in your brain. And a lot of those things from a people hacking perspective, it becomes imperative to be able to tell your story and get your narrative across by using inflection or pauses to kind of tell those things. And it's something you have to practice. And it's so funny that you talk about yourself as you got to put on Jayson, right? You got to put like, and whenever I go to a conference, I am BowTieSecurityGuy. And like you gave me some crap before we started. You're like, no, Bowtie, what are we doing here? But like, it's so funny because when I'm in my own environment, like I don't have to perform for anyone. And I don't have to be performative. And it's hilarious because you become that character. And it's not like we're not being genuine to who we are. Our views, our opinions, how we feel are still accurate. but the body language and the emotion is all created for you to feel more comfortable as a neurotypical person. Because if Jason and I just sat here and talked how we normally do, which is our kind of monotone tone, this would not be a very entertaining podcast.
Right. Exactly.
It would you would be bored very quickly and you wouldn't listen, and none of the things we were saying to you would stick or have any sort of emphasis to you that would last with you. And when you're a presenter,
But
it's
but
all about engaging.
I would counter it would be educational and still engaging. It's like we would still find value in the conversation because it would
Agreed.
impart several information, but then
Yeah.
also once again, everybody else would be quickly switching channels
They
to
would
the next Mr. Beast episode because it would be more highly entertaining, if not educational or inspiring.
it's that drug, right? That we're looking for. A lot of us are dopamine seekers, and social media has figured out a way to basically sell you a drug that is your attention, right? They're trying to take your attention at all cost, and they're doing it in a way with, fancy headers, fancy picture, anything to draw your eye, because that is the commodity now. That's where they make their money, is your attention. So they exploit it. And just as Jason and I are public speakers, our job is to be entertaining when you hear us speak. Our job is to make it so you want to hear us talk more. If we came in and we just delivered things in our basic tone, it would be informative, but majority of you
Oh,
don't
I've
have
seen
the
talks like that.
attention. Yeah. Majority of you don't have the attention span to stay with us,
Yeah.
to stick it out. So if you're listening to this, this is just a great example of two guys who have just kind of figured stuff out by failing over and over again and just never accepting no, or this isn't something you can do as an answer. Like
Oh my
that.
gosh. I tell people I never let reality get in the way of me trying to accomplish something. I am not here because I'm successful. I'm here because of my failures. I'm just too petty AF to give up. It's like there's too many people rooting for my failure to give them satisfaction.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna I wasn't supposed to live past 20. It's like screw those people. I'm like I personally didn't think I would live past 30. That's the reason why my whole life is in shambles now, is because I did no planning, because it's like I wasn't expecting to be here this long. It's like it's not great. It's like, so I mean, I'm a cautionary tale
well,
on a lot of things, but
and I
it's
think
like when it comes to social engineering, people think that it's like you're having to look all the, like they try to make it scientific, and it's like you're trying to bypass the co-pilot, the firmware.
yep.
And my TISM superpower, unfortunately, is not math or executive function where I'd be a millionaire by now. It's I know how to use masking. I've had to learn how to mask, like at a moment's notice. I've had this one situation once where it was like, and I thought it was going to change how I was going to live. But no, it didn't, because I know how to mask very quickly and how to change
Exactly.
the emotions of, and I know how to like go that into it. What part surprise inspection do you not understand? Do you think I came here because I'm just looking for a good time right now? Let me into
Exactly.
the server room or you're on the report, mother.
Well, yeah, and you learn to adapt to other people's emotions, and you study them as a thing. So like, just as you kind of went, sorry, so you went really serious all of a sudden too, because of that moment, you can kind of
Yeah.
change quickly and on the fly. That
Yes.
ability to use your vocal inflection in a way that you can weaponize it is what makes good and amazing social
Yeah.
engineers. But it's also a power that is incredibly destructive, that many
Oh
utilize to
yes.
sell their own narratives, to sell you lies, to sell you bullshit, and to kind of feed into this kind of world and reality that they create that has no bearing in reality. Like, for instance, is there a cyber job shortage, Jason? Is there a massive cyber job shortage, and kids go right out of college into a job making six figures? How often have you seen that happen?
Never.
Right.
And it's like, and once again, it's, and now they've got all these ghost jobs that they're putting out there. That's the problem. It's like because they're trying. It's. Don't even get me started. That's a whole other topic. Getting back to the people thing, it's like we humans are. I'm if you don't mind, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here, kind of thing. But it's an interesting. When we study social engineering and you think that you're manipulating humans, you're not. You're not manipulating the conscious. Your goal should be to disable the co-pilot.
Yep.
So I'll start it this way. It's like for you and anyone listening, close your eyes and imagine what you look like. Not outside, not your external, how you see yourself, how you think you look, how you see yourself naturally, like when you're dreaming or who you see you as a person. Now, when you open your eyes, that's not what you see. That's not what you see in the mirror. But guess what? That is the reason why I tell people, I've never seen what you look like. I don't know what you look like because I'm talking to that. I'm talking to that consciousness, that soul, the spirit, whatever you want to call. That's the pilot of this meat robot that we're in. Okay? It's like, and this is all this is. It's like I literally got I fell down yesterday, first time wearing shorts while I did my power walk, and I cut my knee up all up and scraped it all up. And to me, it's like I get angry at my stupidity. So it's like I just started running. It's like instead of walking. And it's like I started doing half runs. Got really great timing. And then at the very end of it, it's like I was like really hurting. My heart rate was like 180 and stuff. And I was like, and I literally just said, it's like, this is a robot mother. I hear the signals and I understand I'm still going to keep going. It's like, and I can operate it that way. And it's like, because my co-pilot, that's the brain.
Yep.
Now your brain has a firmware that was installed from code written a millennia ago when you couldn't get out of the cave without getting eaten if you weren't paying attention. And so your firmware says that you need to hunt, you need to gather, you need to find resources, you need to find a group, you need to make sure there are others so you're in the group, and you need to find a mate, and you need to find a place to live. And you repeat as necessary. That's what the firmware is responsible for. It doesn't give a about your likes or about your social standing. It's, are you taking care? Are you living? Are you like, do you have, I'm responsible for that. Your co-pilot sees everything that you see. It hears everything you hear, and it moves and controls your body when it wants to. Now you, the brain, the co-pilot will filter what you look at. You only look at maybe 10, 30% of what you see. You only listen to 10 or 20% of what you hear. And the reason why, the best way to show that, besides the fact that you haven't thought about breathing, but yet you're breathing, and now you're starting to think about breathing, you're going to control your breath for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then your brain's going to take it back over, is this is the key thing. I can explain to everybody and sum it up real quick. If you want to know what your co-pilot does, you've driven your car from home to school, school to home, or home to work, work to home.
I have no idea how you got there.
By the time you got back into the parking lot, into the driveway, or by the time you got to your door, you were like, how did I get to that stop sign? Because that was because you weren't driving unsafely. Your co-pilot saw the traffic. It knew the patterns. It saw, it heard any noises or sirens. It would have done something, and it controls your body. So therefore, it was taken up, and we are totally fine with our body going on autopilot and having our co-pilot take over a 2-ton machine, but we expect employees at a desk in air conditioning, sitting down 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, to not go on co-pilot and just let their co-pilot take over the clickety click. It's like, the thing is, one of the biggest differences I do is I don't try to create or teach security awareness. I teach situational awareness. Because if you were on autopilot in that car and a kid ran out into the middle of the road, your co-pilot would switch off and say, nope, you got the wheel. I ain't handling this, bub. And it's like, and but the better your situational awareness is, means the quicker and the smoother that response will be when the kid comes out in the road. So you want to create and foster that situational awareness. So when you're doing the clickety clickety and then you see a CEO's email that comes in about gift cards, you go automatically, your co-pilot's going to click it because it's told to click stuff like that. You are going to go kid in the road. Kid in the road. I can't click on that. Let me think about that for a second. That's what we're trying to create, that situational awareness. Let them go on autopilot. We can't stop that, but give them a more empowerment to disengage from autopilot and respond.
I did a talk on this recently. I said, if you are chasing your click-through rate as your simulation success criteria, you're failing because people are going to click. You need to train risky behaviors and teach people how to think and give them the ability to think and create an environment that it's okay to take a moment to read an email to validate some stuff. Like, it's amazing how we train these behaviors of instant response and instant behavior, and then we're amazed that phishing is still the #1 threat vector, right?
I will tell you this. It's like, if you want to improve security dramatically within 1 quarter of you starting this program, it's very simple. It's like, stop teaching people to care about your data.
Yep, they don't.
Teach people how to secure their Wi-Fi at home. Yep. Teach them about jugging,
their stuff,
pig butchering, romance scams, how their children are being exploited online by people sending them fraudulent emails saying, I've got your webcam footage and stuff, and I'm going to like release this to your friends.
Yep.
Teach them how to be naturally secure and situationally aware at home. They still won't care about your data, but if they won't fall for it at home, they won't fall for it at work.
And that's exactly what my talk was on, where I said the exact same thing. I said, you have to train behaviors because your employee does not care about your company as much as you want them to. They care about a paycheck, and you have to make it about them. Why does it matter to them? Like, if you don't actually bring it back to them and teach them the skills that they need in their real life and teach them what they need to do, it's not gonna translate. That's awesome, because I think that is the fundamentals of a lot of security awareness programs, and that's where they fall short.
Well, and I think and it's the empowerment of the employees together as well, showing the positives. Well, one of the best things, it's like, I started working about a month now. It's like for Covert Swarm. It's a UK based company, but it's so effing amazing because it's not about just punching them in the face, see if they got a plan. It's just not about the negative. It's just not about doing the exploit. They care about the education. They care about showing, because we don't do pen test. It's like, we don't do like, oh, this is our scope, we're going to come in once a year. It's a constant attack subscription thing. So it's like, you literally pay for us to attack you 5 days a month. We are literally, you pay us. It's like you pay us as a full-time employee that's a malicious insider from the get-go. We're your person. Why should nation states have all the fun? We're your APT unit. And what we do is, because we have that whole time scale, it's like we can craft different kinds of attacks, the more realistic ones. But also we can give the flowers to the defenders when they do right. Why aren't we showing more when the defenders do the right thing, when the employee makes the right decision? I am so tired, and I've had dealing with it. I literally created recently last month, it's like just starting at Clover Swarm, I started creating this resilient signal framework where we literally created an actual standardized framework where it celebrates when the defenders stop us.
Yeah.
Failure is not the roadblock. Failure is that is the indicator that this one worked. Our job has never in the history of red teaming and pen testing been to find a vulnerability, to break into their network. It has always been to validate their security posture, and when there were findings, to report them in an effective and efficient manner so management would feel the need to actually take the economic hit to fix them. And if you don't do that last part, I don't care how effing good you are at the first part.
Right. No, and it's so true. And I feel like so many people miss that very simple thing of
Yes.
positive reinforcement in human behavior and just treating people like when I worked for my previous company, you know, I basically anytime somebody did something like that, I would reach out to them directly. I'd send them tchotchkes, I'd send them thank yous because they are your first line of defense. Like if you don't treat your employees like everyone is basically a defender, you're not doing it right.
They're
Because
on your information security
yeah,
team. I tell people like this: a delivery driver is hired to deliver packages, but they were given a van, a piece of company equipment. So therefore, their job responsibilities is to secure and safe operation of that company equipment. If you're in HR, yeah, your job is HR, but you're given a desktop or a laptop. That is a piece of company equipment. It's your job responsibility to operate that equipment in a safe and secure manner. I'm not saying your job security. I'm saying as part of your job responsibility, though. A delivery driver's job is just as responsible to lock their van, to make sure they're using their seatbelt, to make sure no one's putting packages in their van or taking things out of their van. Why can't you do that with your laptop? Are you better than the delivery person? I don't think so.
And that's the thing that I think so many people miss out on is that they're all part of this. They all have to care just enough.
From the
Even if you
CEO
only
to the
care,
mailroom.
yeah, even if you only care about your personal brand damage, that's still caring. And that's the biggest thing to me is like, I would educate. It's like, okay, I get that you don't care about the company, but imagine if every person on your email contact list got a sextortion email from you. You know, how would you then feel? Like,
I remember the I love you virus coming from my HR manager. That was an HR issue. It was hilarious. It's like I literally looked at her. She was so red. It's like it was hilarious. But it was
I know both of us we've put on our show faces for long enough and we're both feeling it. And I want to talk about that, right? Like the persons that you hear, the people that you see representing cyber, in many cases are putting on a show. Jayson and I are putting on a show for you. We are enjoying ourselves, but this is also mentally exhausting. It is ridiculously hard to do. It's hard to maintain, and it's even harder to sustain that level for longer than about maybe an hour, hour and a half. Like we've learned our limits. Jayson and I can push past our limits because we've trained ourselves to push past our limits many, many times over and over again, right? So what advice do you have for people kind of listening here? What are some of the, maybe a piece of advice that stuck with you that you kind of would like to share now, or something that just it resonates with you that has stuck with you over the years?
I think one of the key things for people to remember is they are flawed. They have bad days. They see every single mistake that they made along the way to get where they are, but they do not see all the mistakes that I made, all the flaws that I have, all the problems I've caused, all the just total screw ups in my life They just see me on the stage and they think, oh, that guy is so much better than me at this. No, you're not seeing the other stuff.
Yeah.
And also, in another way of it as well, that we need to look at this is that there are so many people out there that suffered when they were growing up. And I'm not I'm not directly saying it's their fault, but they chose to be the monster because they're hurting and they want others to hurt like they do.
Yep.
But they still deserve grace. I have so many. You read any of the comments on any of my videos, there's going to be someone saying something hateful. My DEFCON 19 is where I go when I'm really super depressed and read the comments from that because, whew, that's that because I hate myself anyway. So it's like it's really good for me to just like do self-harm with just reading the comments versus the other ways that I use.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, but I am telling you, it's like, I don't hate those people. I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. So do
I
I.
don't care how bad I don't like a person. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to hurt them.
Or
It's
tear
like,
them down.
or say something
Yeah.
because when I was in my 20s, one of the things that I had to do was, and I know this sounds stupid, but it's like I had to learn how to human. I had to learn how good people worked. And so I got introduced to Mr. Rogers. And I literally, as a 20-year-old, started watching Mr. Rogers and learning how these operate and stuff. My first fiance, my ex-fiance, but my first fiance, it's like she literally showed me how to take a shower and shampoo my hair without holding my nose because I wasn't trained on any of that. I didn't learn how to shave properly until my 20s, barely do that right. It's like, so that's the whole point, is that we don't know what the other people are. So one of the things that I tell people is that, especially as a hacker, you have the power to be anything you want in the world. Be kind.
Yeah.
Start there. It's like, I mean, it doesn't take much. I am not successful because people know my name. I'm not successful because people think on the internet that I'm a good person. I am successful, quite honestly. And this is like real emotion because I'm thinking about it. Because there are people in this country, in this state, in this city, and in other countries around the world who have told a story to their friends or their family about a stranger that gave them kindness or helped them out and then walked off.
Yep.
And that is why I'm successful, because that matters. If I've impacted at least one person with my talks, and I know that I've done that, I know that I have given enough knowledge to share and like to help others, I'm done. I don't have anything else to prove.
And that's my goal too, is hit one. All I'm looking for is one person.
And you've done that. You're done. Stop. You're done. It's like everything else you're doing is because it's just right. You don't need to succeed any further. You have helped make this planet better than when you first found it. And it's like in the state of it, no matter the way it looks now, but you still keep doing the things because it's right. And you keep being kind. I will literally.
Yeah. No, and that's so
critical. How I work.
It's so simple, but it's so true. Just don't be a dick. Be nice to people. Try to be helpful. Like if you're in a job right
hurting.
Now, yes, if you're in a job right now and you're working and you're not trying to help, then you are not doing a service for this cyber community, period. If you're in technology and you're not helping and trying at least to lift one person up, you're not doing it.
So you got to be careful. Screw the company.
No,
protecting the client. No, protecting the clients and your coworkers and helping them. It's like, and I don't mean screw the company because we need companies for money because, you know, capitalism. Only creatures on this effing planet that have to pay to live on it. Don't get me started on capitalism. But it's like, I am telling you, the basic truth is you got to have those relationships, and you got to have that positive impact on the new people. Like I have not felt this good about a job in over a decade. I worked for a bank for about 14 years. Highlight, pinnacle of everything I compare a good experience, because those were friends. I've had them to my house. It's like we would go and hang out. My boss would watch my house when I was traveling.
I don't even know how to operate because I'm not used to loving my company. Like,
exactly. And I'm having conversations with people on Teams and stuff, you know, that are giving up their nighttime to talk to me and have comment. I love that. But when I die, they're going to find someone to replace me.
I mean, within
a restructure, I just at that first job, CompuBank, I literally deactivated the CEO's badge before mine because our company was closing down. And it's like, they didn't ask me if I needed to still keep a job. When my company, Van Campen Mutual Funds, when I was doing IT support, when they relocated to Chicago, they said, do you want to relocate? It's like, well, I can't move it. Well, then too bad, we're moving to Chicago. It's like, here's a severance package. They didn't ask me if they didn't stay because of me.
Right.
But I still did the best job. On my bio page on my website, you will see our restaurant got the cleanest McDonald's in the Southeast Texas region for 2 years as a row when I was janitor, because I was an effing great janitor. I didn't plan on being a janitor for the rest of my life, but I was going to do an effing good job. But I also knew that wasn't my life.
Yeah.
I hack and I do this stuff because I love it and I think it's fun, but it's and I want to do a great job, but it's like, I don't let it consume me to the point where it's like, that's why I think I don't burn out, is because it's just, it's passion, because I do it because I love it. Stop trying to find a career. Stop trying to find a job that pays well. Find someone to pay you to do what you love. Period. I stopped working over a decade ago. This company is not paying me to do a job. I love what I'm doing. They're just paying me for it. And that's one of the things that they literally, when you talked about the branding, they said, look, we don't want you to be like our brand or like that. We want you to still be you, Jayson. It's like, but we want you to be genuine. The support that I get from this company is unbelievable. I don't know if it's a European thing or it's like, I don't know. It's like, because I've never really experienced it in this country except for one place.
Well, and it's awesome, because if you can find that, like you said, you don't feel like you're working. I don't feel like I work for a living. I don't. I have an amazing team. I get to do really cool stuff, and I love this. It's not a job to me, and I think that's why I've experienced bouts of burnout where I've done too much, but that's when I was doing stuff I didn't love, where I was just taking on more responsibility and taking on more and more because I thought I had to. I thought that's what they needed from me, you know?
And I think a lot of these people, when they're starting out, it's like they're looking at the job, they're looking at the career, and they're looking at all the stuff that they have that they need to pay for.
Yeah.
And I need to realize, people need to remember some important things. It's like, and this is like me being a little preachy, and I'm sorry about that, but it's like, but when you get me not masking, it's like I talk a lot less tech, and I'm just talking more about what I feel and I want people to understand. Is Elon Musk is a miserable person. I mean, if he wasn't such a horrible person, I would feel more sorry for him. But he is a miserable person. See how he's so sad. And he's doing all this stuff to attention, and he's trying to act all this alpha. And he's got, like, you see the post, he's trying to, and I feel so sorry for this guy
who is the richest man in the world, who posts and brags about his video game score when he paid someone else to play the video game for him.
But you know what? But you know where I've seen true happiness?
Where?
When a guide was telling me when we were driving through the streets in Cambodia, how he just bought a property along the street that we were rolling, because they said within the next year or two, because he was pointing to the light poles, no electric wires, but the light poles. He says, yeah, in a year or two, they're going to have electricity here. And he was happy. He was not miserable. I saw kids playing outside the Coptic area of Egypt in Cairo. It's like with joy on their face, with rocks. And it's like,
Because they're
and it's
not
like,
like my kids, like, and this is, and we'll wrap it up because you and I could rant
yeah,
forever.
I,
My
well,
kids do not have access to social media.
yeah,
They're not comparing themselves to people all the time. And they just go out and they play and they enjoy life. Like there's
that was
so
it.
much
Enjoy.
losing. Just to enjoy the basics of existence.
Don't get rich, get gratitude for what you have.
Yeah.
Start feeling more grateful for where you're at. I was happier. Sometimes I feel like I was happier when I was working at McDonald's or fueling airplanes at
Yeah.
the airport. It's like I felt it's not about how much gadgets I've got or how many things that I have. This house could burn down. I don't give a it's
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
are
about
you
the
happy?
relationship. Yeah. I tell people all the time when they call me because they're looking to pivot into cyber, and I go, why? And they're like, well, I'm just bored. I was like, why do you need entertainment from work?
Yeah.
Like, I said, do you work over 50 hours a week? Well, no, I only work probably maybe 30, 35. I've been doing this for many years. I said, okay, so you're giving 35 hours and then you have 125 hours or something to yourself to do whatever you want with friends and family. If tomorrow you're on your deathbed, are you going to tell me about that sweet
Oh,
project that you crushed? Right?
or how
You're
much
not.
you made or how
Yeah, you're
successful
not.
you were. No.
None of that matters. What matters is those relationships that you build and the friendships and the people that you impact. Like Jason and I have talked about this whole time. Just go out there and try to help people. If you don't think you have something to teach someone, you're wrong, because everyone starts at different levels. Even if you're new, sharing your struggle, many of you listening to this right now are like, oh my God, these guys went through some stuff. This guy just pivoted on a dime. Like they're using their voices as weapons. That's not a great thing to idolize. We've learned this skill as a survival tactic. We've been able to pivot it into a career where it's vital and works really well, but it's not something we had to learn because we wanted to or because we found it interesting. It's something we had to learn because I literally couldn't eat if I didn't con my way into getting a free burger with a receipt that I found in the trash.
Yep.
Right? Like that's
It's
the
not like a
reality.
Duolingo course you choose to be competitive with your friends to learn a new language. It's like it's literally
No, exactly. No, Jason, is there anything you want to plug? Any things you're going to talk to, your business that you work for, anything? I'm happy.
well, I will say I don't really have much plugs. I'm going to London next week. It's like, and I'm going to SwarmCon, which is like once again a great. The company brings employees over to London, and it's like to these really cool locations, and we just have a conference for our internal employees and stuff to learn and to just connect with each other in person. And there's another thing that might be going on there, but I don't want to jinx it by saying it out loud also because it's like I can't make it public till after, but I might be doing something else in London, which should be really
That'll
fun.
probably air way later, anyways.
Yeah, so it's like so there's a potential possibility of speaking at Scotland Yard, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So it's like I don't want to jinx it, but it's like
Let's give a shout out to future Jason and say good
yeah.
luck.
Yeah. So, but also I'm teaching at Black Hat and DEF CON and should have some cool videos coming out of that. A cool video that I filmed in Johannesburg coming out soon to
Nice.
show that. But it's like, I think it's like the only thing I want to plug is just, no, I want people to remember it's like that they have way more impact in other people's lives than they know. And they also need to remember when they're walking around, they're so insignificant to other people that they meet. They let a slip up or I did a mess up, think that like that person's going to, that person doesn't remember that.
Not at all. Only us weirdos replay a conversation. That was one of the funniest
Yes.
realizations. And I'll end it with this. one of my funnest realizations when I was talking to a neurotypical person, and I was like, I don't know, I'll probably replay this conversation 100 times and kind of figure out what I did wrong. And he goes, "Why would you do that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why would you replay a conversation and like go through it and analyze it?" And I was like, I can't help that. I have to do that. And he's like, "Well, I just leave the conversation and it's done." And I was like, "What? You walk away and the conversation's just over and you don't think about anything you said?" He's like, "No, I've never even went back and considered what I said previously." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that was such a realization to me as a presenter
Yeah.
that I realized your job is not to be memorable. Your job is to have like maybe one or two things they glom onto, and that's about all. Your entire hour presentation, they're going to take about 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds out of it that
Make
they
it count.
bring with them. And that's the thing. I watched Adam Savage, a guy that I've idolized for a long time. I watched him present recently at a conference I was also presenting at. We got to present on the same stage, which was wild to me. And I watched Adam present, and I couldn't tell you a single thing he said except for one thing that I took with me. And he said, with our team, we had a veto policy where any one person who didn't think we were doing something right or wasn't doing something safe could veto it. And then we would have to convince that person that either A, they were wrong, or we would all have to agree to do it differently. And I took that with me. Everything else he said, I don't remember a damn word. And this is a person I have looked up to and idolized forever. I'm a person who has an almost eidetic memory, and I didn't memorize or think about any of it because I was too busy in my own head thinking about that one thing he said. And then I was cycling on that while he was
and being
talking.
in the moment. Yeah, and being in the moment. It's like,
Yes,
yeah.
100%. Well, thank you so much, Jayson. Anyone else listening, good luck out there.